Hey, it's Dot, and tonight I'm making fried green tomatoes. These beauties right here are wonderful, they're tasty, and the advantage of them is that unlike their red counterparts, they are extremely low carb. Not a whole lot of sugar in these puppies. So tonight, we're making them in my low carb kitchen. So what goes into a fried green tomato was, generally speaking, it's a tomato and really bad grease or fat and fry them all up. We're not going to do that tonight. This is a southern delicacy. Coming from Michigan, I was born and raised there, hadn't really heard of fried green tomatoes except for I know there was a movie called that, which I'd never seen, but they actually are very tasty if you do them right. And the nice thing about it is when you fry them up, the heat sort of releases what little sugar is in them, so that helps sort of loosen them up and bring out their flavor. So what goes into it? Not a whole lot of ingredients, which is nice. Obviously, a green tomato that you can get at any grocery store, which is nice. I'm going to be cooking them in coconut oil. I've got about 2 tablespoons here. You can use another fat if you choose to, like ghee. I tend to prefer ghee than butter, simply because ghee has a higher smoke point. For something like this, you're going to be cooking it over a medium-high heat, and butter tends to start smoking after a certain point. We don't want to do that. You need 2 eggs. You're going to need some Parmesan cheese. Yay, they're tasty and yummy. And I'm actually adding to it about a tablespoon of flaxseed meal. Again, because I want a really nice crust on it. You just have to be a little bit careful, which is flaxseed meal can make it brown a lot faster than normal. It may look burnt. It's not. It's just the flaxseed. So with that, we're going to get going. So now I'm going to make the flour, essentially, for the green tomato. I'm just going to add the flaxseed in with my Parmesan, and I'm just going to mix it all together. Nice thing is you can see the flaxseed all mixed in there. The next thing I'm going to do, I've got a flat plate. I'm going to go ahead and pour my mixture, my cheese and flaxseed mixture in here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my hands and just spread it out, because this is what the tomato is going to be dipping into. So I'm going to set this aside, and the next thing I want to do is I'm going to crack my egg and I'm going to beat the eggs together. So this is going to be almost like an egg wash, but I'm going to be dipping the tomato in here to moisten it, get it nice and wet, so that the batter that I'm having here is going to actually stick to it, or the flour, I should say, rather than batter. So I'm going to take my eggs and just go ahead and use my whisk and just beat them. All right, my eggs are all combined. They look great. So I'm going to put them right here. It's almost like a conveyor belt system. It's sort of like a factory system that you have all set in place. Now it is the time for the tomato. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut off the end, a little bit of the end, because I want to expose the tomato itself, the insides of the tomato. You're going to cut off about a 1/2 inch size piece of your tomato. You want a large tomato to work with. You want to try to be as straight as possible. I'm not very good at being straight, but it'll work. So I'm going to work with 4 slices, good size slices. Then all I'm going to do is basically put everything here. Like I said, it's almost like a conveyor belt system. I'm going to take the tomato and sort of dip it in the egg. You shake off a little bit of the excess, and then I'm going to roll it in my cheese. And what you want to make sure, like that, it is coated. Now with that, something like this, it's ready to go into the frying pan. All right, my coconut oil, I've got it on medium high. It is popping, as you can see. You want to put them in, and you don't want to overcrowd your pan. That's really cool, key. So I'm just going to add 2 right now. What you want to cook it until the cheese, by the time you flip it over, it's going to be like a nice golden brown color. So I'm going to leave it on here, not peeking underneath it. That's really important, for at least 2 minutes before I actually check it. You don't want it to start coming off the tomato. You want it to stay on the tomato. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and flip. You want to really scrape. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. You want that coloring with your crust. All right, tonight we're doing a light dinner. So I've got 2 slices of the fried green tomatoes with just an over easy egg and a slice of Canadian bacon. Real simple. It's a great breakfast too. Obviously, I'm having it for dinner, but I'm going to go ahead and sample it. So here we go, nice crust. There's the tomato. I'm gonna go ahead and have a bite. It's really nice. There's a little bit of a sourness to the tomatoes, which I like, but there's a really nice flavor to them. And the crust tastes great. You really have a nice Parmesan crust. The flaxseed add a little bit of flavor, but really I added it for the omega-3s to make it a little bit healthy. It adds a little bit of carb to it, but it's so much healthier with that omega-3 in there. But it's a really nice side dish. Other than traditional broccoli, cauliflower, asparagus, it's something that people may not think that they could do, but it's real simple and real easy to make. So with that, if you like what you see, subscribe, hit like, and definitely give these a try. And till next time, I'll see ya.